I just want to talk a little bit about this. So the Empire Files tweeted this out. IDF troops kill 7 children in a single day. So what do? They have to demonize those kids they just killed. They have to tell you that those kids had it coming and that anybody would have killed 7 kids. So they make an infographic labeling children Hamas weapons of terror. That's just from Empire Files. And here's the IDF. Here's what they say. Did you see this? Have you seen this? No, I didn't send this to you. Hamas can turn anything into a weapon of terror. Rocks, explosives, arson kites. You know how well kites fly when they're on fire. Arson kites. Arson kites. By the way, can I tell you, you know how many Israelis killed by all this Hamas violence? Counting today, 0. 0. So when you have people in a prison and you remove all hope, what do you think they're going to do? Well, some of them are going to try and protest and riot, and they're going to use their weapons, their arson kites against, an Israeli military tank and sharpshooters with assault weapons, with sniper rifles. Hey, I have an arson kite. I have a sniper rifle. Who do you think's going to win? They have Molotov. They have wire cutters. You see that? That's also, we had to shoot him. He had a wire cutter and no means to get close to us. So we had to shoot him. Molotov cocktails. How far do you think you can throw a Molotov cocktail? 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards? Maybe if you're like a John Elway or if you're an NFL quarterback, you can throw it maybe 50 yards, a Molotov cocktail, because it's not symmetrical like a football.
Mm-hmm.
There's no wind, and it's all wind resistance. So a Molotov cocktail, maybe you could throw it 50 yards.
But Jimmy, I mean, you could attach a Molotov cocktail to your arson kite. That was like the ending of Mary Poppins. And
then, of course, when you have a burning tire, you know how hard those are to fix. Hey, do they also have boomerangs and slingshots? And I bet they have. It's just unbelievable. That's not a joke from The Onion. That's a real thing. This is what they did.
And it says a weapon of terror.
A weapon of terror.
Wire cutters.
Wire cutters. Rocks. Weapons of terror. Explosives. Arson kites. As Martin Luther King said, the biggest purveyor of violence in the world is the United States and their allies. So our entire government is supporting this. Just so you know. Chuck Schumer, it's bipartisan. Chuck Schumer's 100% on board. Thomas Friedman, did you see him today? Thomas Friedman came out today and said this was Hamas's fault, that they killed 7 children. They're killing all these people. It's Hamas's fault. Thomas Friedman. Thomas Friedman, who should, if there was any justice in the world, would be in jail himself, having some of that extraordinary rendition done on him that he so pushed for. If there was any justice in this world, Thomas Friedman would be have a military person with an AR-15 come knock on his door and terrorize him and his family. If there was any justice. But there isn't any justice in this world. And of course, the New York Times will also agree with the IDF. Of course they will. And they'll say this is because of Hamas. They'll say every stupid thing in the world. And then you wonder why people get their news from YouTube.